Hello, everybody. It's me, Tsar Chekhov here. Today I'm commenting over my world record speedrun of Zero Gear. As you can see on the side there on the timer, I'm calling this the All Races Complete category because it only has the race maps and it's being played the way I believe the game is meant to be played. Uh, which is you load the level, you load the level, you get into the match, and then after you do both of the laps or however many laps there is on a map, it then proceeds to uh, restart the map without reloading it. So that's why I think that's the way it's intended on being played, is that it by default this is what the game does. I think maybe if you change uh, the minutes per level in the options when you make a server, it's at default at 5. I think maybe that might change it, but that's the default is 5, and this is how, I mean, it just works. So that's the way I think it should be played, and hence complete. But I've gotten some feedback from some other people who are interested in speedrunning the game, and they think that would be very long, and so they only want to do each level once. They only want to do each map once. So say for Aqua Race, which we're on right now, uh, twice. You know. Uh, anyway, so that explains the category, and I also want to add that there are non-race maps. There are like little mini game maps like Pachinko and Shoot Shoot, which is like a skee ball, I think is what they call it in real life, skee ball. Uh, as well as like a football map where you're hitting the football with your car, and a soccer map and an ice hockey map like Rocket League. This came out long before Rocket League though. This was a 2010 game, I believe. Uh, so yeah, that's the category. I think there's also going to be a. I'm going to call it like all races half. I think that would be a good name for it. Uh, I might think on that one. We're not sure. We don't have a run in that category yet, but I know a couple people who are interested in doing that, and so yeah, there's that. Uh, so let's get into the actual commentary on the uh, game. There's no audio, unfortunately, right now, which is a shame because I do like the Zero Gear soundtrack. But I had live commented on this, and then after rewatching the video, I didn't really like my commentary, and I'm not really liking my commentary right now. But it's fine. This will be okay. So I wanted to re-commentate over it, do a little better job of explaining some things. Um, this for on the timer, you can see the order. This is the default order the game gives for the maps. It's in alphabetical order. So the first map is Aqua Race, which is my least favorite map. Uh, it's a very kind of buggy map. Um, there's a lot of points to mess up, and it won't be your fault, like these ramps that you just saw, and I guess slide. And this slide right here, this one's not so bad. Going up them isn't very, very difficult. But going down the slides, uh, there's some factors that are not completely in the player's control. Speed is one of them that's in your control to an extent, but when you hit the ground, you could get spun, you can get you can have a severe speed decrease. There's a lot of things that can happen. You can flip when you hit the ground, and those can really kill a run. And there's not much you can do to control it. It's because the handling of the cart is pretty poor in Zero Gear. Oh, I also want to say, so with the timer, it starts just after the count of one on the countdown at the start of the race when you first are get control of your cart, and it ends when you cross the finish line. That's how I'm doing it in this. I think that makes the most sense because I mean, I guess we could include the countdown, but I think starting it from when you get control of your car is good because it just needlessly is going to add on the 3 seconds or however long it is. And then at the end, when you cross that line, while there is a set amount of time every other player or bot in this case has to get across the finish line, uh, sometimes that it does not meet that full amount of time because everybody crosses the finish line, and other times players get stuck or uh, just are so far behind that it really does they don't ever cross the finish line. You have to sit there for that full amount of time, and it's very much a luck based thing, and I don't think it's uh, fair to people to have that luck based amount of time at the end of a uh, race that could completely ruin a run. And so I think it's best that to pause the timer once you cross the finish line at the end of the last lap. Another thing that I want to comment on, I probably should have commented on this when I was doing my spiel before. Uh, I am playing with bots. I think that is the way it should be done. Uh, Maybe there could be a botless category. I don't know. But I think the game is meant to be played with bots. I think that's how it is by default. That there are bots listed in the server creator thing in game, and so I believe that's the way it should be. That there should be bots in these matches. Uh, Again, there could be a botless category, but I think it takes out a lot of the challenge that comes with the game. And again, I think it's just the way the game was meant to be played. And so there are bots, no players, but just bots in the game. Uh, Anything else? I'm trying to think. I'm sorry. My post game commentary is not much better than my live commentary, I guess. But all right, let's see what's going on here. Bit of a rough one right there. Oh yeah. See, there's stuff like that where if you just hit it slightly wrong, you just lose control. Not very good. And I'm boosting here. See, this game is fairly well designed in some respects. There's not very many outright glitches or bugs, not nothing game breaking. And uh, there's not very many glitches. There's nothing totally game breaking. Uh, Really, the speed running is going to be about the optimization of the line you're on, and really cutting those corners, knowing where to boost, etc. But it's somewhat poorly designed in things like Aqua Race. Those slides are awful, and the physics in the game don't work very well with the models, the hitboxes, all of that. I think this is a source game, or at least the engine that is that's running it is based off of source, I believe. Anyway, let's look at the time. So I got a 7:07 on Aqua Race, and doing pretty good on Champion Circuit. That shortcut just back there, that's one of my favorites in the game. Very nice. It's one that the bots don't take. There are some shortcuts, like on Spaghetti West, that bots will take, but Champion Circuit they don't. And while this is somewhat of a skill-based game, it's gonna be all about the lines, when to boost, uh, etc. There is still some luck, such as with the power-ups. Now, each power-up, while they're in the same position on each lap, uh, and each time you load the map, they are random power-ups, and so that can have a big effect on your game. Pardon me for the sound that's about to happen. I'm getting thirsty. I got a can of sparkling or seltzer water here, so take the shortcut here. That could be improved upon. I did not have really the necessary boost there. I ran out shortly before getting out of the grass, so that slowed me down a little bit. And I'm maybe not sticking as close to the wall as I could be. But at the same time, hitting the wall in this game can be absolutely disastrous. It can turn your car around if you hit correctly. I mean, if you hit just right, it's not correctly because you don't want to do that. But if you hit the wall wrong, you can do a 180 and be facing the wrong way and have lost all your speed. And it can really ruin a race. But this one's not bad. I finished first. That's the other thing. I think if you're not finishing first, you're not probably not going as fast as you should be. So really my goal here was just to make sure I was in first and do it as fast as I think I could at the time. Again, a lot of room for improvement here. I hope to see some other runs pop up now that I've done it. Uh, yeah, this was one of the. I think this was the first game on Steam to get a free weekend. A little factoid for you. Now this is really good. I have a lot of boost here, but something about this game, the rubber banding is crazy. So you could be in first, you could even be in first and use a full thing of boost like I just did, and you're still not going to get that far ahead because the people in the back, every time they cross one of the little checkpoints, they get a full thing of boost, and it can be very, very tough. For a long time, I thought the amount of boosts that you got was dependent on your position, like if you're in first, second, third, and I think that has something to do with it. Like if you're in first, I think you almost always get the minimum amount of boost. But I've been like sixth place and not gotten full boost, and I think that has to do with like your distance to everybody else in the race. So like if you're really far behind, you're gonna get full boost. Or maybe it has to do with your distance from the person in first. That could be it as well. And then of course there's drafting. That takes a bit of speed, and that's another reason why I think bots are important to actually get the quickest run in a game or on a map level, whatever you want to call it, because you have the potential to get so much more boost off of the bots, but it's better for it to be bots than a player. You could really cheese it if you were doing the map with a guy and just getting boost off of him the whole time. But with the bots, you have to have a certain amount of skill to be able to get the boost from drafting off of them. And we finished champion circuit just there. Total time right now of 11:53, which is quite nice. I ran this game a long time ago. I think it's been about a year now. And I think I got a time of 49 minutes. And this one, of course, I get it in 48:08. So there was some improvement there. I think it's hard to improve Aqua Race because there's so many things that can go wrong with it. Champion Circuit is a much easier one to improve, what with the shortcut and the boost and uh, just being a much flatter terrain with less, I'm going to call them an obstacle in the way. Now, Chill Mountain, which we're on right now, and you see up there, I forgot to switch it. So the time on each level is a bit off, but the total time is not. Uh, what am I trying to say? I'm sorry. Chill Mountain's a little bit harder because, as you'll see coming up, there is another kind of ramp thing that can be real troublesome. This bridge is fine, believe it or not. I think this is a separate object. No, I think it's technically like flat like the rest. But here's the ramp. This can be troublesome, and I'm not sure the best way to tackle it. Uh, then you've got this area. Oh, sorry, pardon me. I really like Chill Mountain. It's one of my favorites, even if it probably isn't my best map. But it's got a real aesthetic to it that I like, and a lot of games I've played on Chill Mountain with my friends. So Champion Circuit, Chill Mountain, Space Race, and Dust Bunny, I would say, are my favorites, or at least the ones I think of the most when I play this game. We're doing pretty good here. We've got a good lead. I get the bomb, which is probably one of the better um, power ups to get. The bomb is excellent on corners. The bots are almost always going to run into it on a corner. The segment coming up here, where it makes almost an S with the road, the paved road going up the hill. That's a great spot to get the bomb, then throw it behind you. Now there is a key to just throw something behind you automatically. I don't use it. Uh, I don't know what key it is actually. Um, and I believe I've tried to use it before and it just doesn't work for some reason. I've heard from people who play with controller that it works a lot better. Oh, see here. So you can get outside of the maps, but there is the issue of if you don't hit the checkpoints, you'll reset after a period of time. But I guess there are some spots like right here, or where that guy was, where you won't reset. And this is why, pardon me, this is why you should stop the timer when you cross the finish line, because this person's just stuck. I mean, they're not going anywhere. It's not resetting, and the bot isn't resetting itself because it doesn't realize that it's off the track. And there are some levels like Space Race, you can get off the track and still hit the checkpoints, but they're not really shortcuts, and they're not really. It's hard to call it off the map because Space Race has kind of a ceiling, and there is a way to get on top of the ceiling and follow the track from up there, and it still counts you. I think it's intentional because it still counts you. That's one thing that Nimblebit, the developers of the game, were pretty good about. Was it's pretty rough to like skip any of the checkpoints. It's pretty rough to be off the map. I've in all my time playing, I've not really found any way to, pardon me, to skip a checkpoint and have it not reset you back to your last checkpoint or the nearest. I think it does the nearest generally, uh, except for Space Race. And I mean, still, you're just above the map. You're still following it, and I still think it was intentional uh, that you could do that. Although you can't finish the map, there is one point where you have to reset yourself to get back down because they've blocked it off. So I mean, maybe it was intentional, maybe it wasn't, because they did block off part of it, probably because they knew you could get up there, and that was their best way to say, hey, this isn't the way you're supposed to go. But it still works, and it's still a decent way to do it. Really, the only advantage it gives is that you're not gonna have to deal with the bots, and it is completely flat. There's no oh, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no inclines or anything like that. You're just on flat ground all the way around. You get all the boosts that you want, and you're gold. No bots, nothing else. But I don't do that in this run. It's kind of hard to do, and it's luck dependent. You have to get the spring at the right time and then jump in the right place. So it's luck dependent, and then uh, takes a bit of skill. And at the end of the day, I don't know if it's worth it. It's a very easy to make that a run ender attempting it. And again, don't think it saves you any time. It just makes it a bit of an easier uh, drive. So yeah, this was Chill Mountain, one of my favorites. Oh, very cool of this bot, and then he's gonna get stuck. Oh, reset, so he's good. See, this is the sort of thing that could really mess up the time on that ending timer. Dirt circuit, not my favorite. Um, yawn. Well, I'm sorry, I'm yawning a lot. There's a lot of jumps and ramps on this, which makes it easy to mess up. If you hit the ground wrong, it could really be a run ender. Luckily, I don't have anything like that happen, but I do get close a couple times with the landings. And again, there's not much besides just controlling your speed and generally the angle of your fall that can fix that. Yeah, see, right there, that was kind of bad, but had an ice power up, and I'm really not that far behind the guys in the lead. Now that's not good. That one bot was really drafting off of the guy in front, and so he has quite a bit of boost. But luckily this is lap one, so even though we're near the end of the lap, it's not like it's gonna be a game over. I'm not going to be in second, which I would consider a game over. I clearly did not go fast enough if I was in second place. You see how much I'm struggling to catch up with this guy from second, but the line really helps. It lets me get close enough to start drafting off of him, and then that landing hurt both of us and let me get in, but it let me get in first. I recovered a bit faster than the bot. The bots aren't very good at that sort of thing, the recovery. I'll also say there's no bot difficulty. There is just the generic difficulty of the bots. Which is not very good. Excuse me, the AI on these bots Not very good at all. So we're about to finish the first dirt circuit. Oh, yep, we finished it. Now we got to do it again. See what I was talking about earlier, where it makes you doesn't load the map again. It just takes you from the end in the scoreboard to the next round. Pardon me, the next race. I don't know what you would call it. Not really referred to in game ever. And I'll say again, I think if you lowered the time per levels to say like 2 minutes, it would only make you do one before loading the next map. But the default time's 5 minutes, so which also makes me think it's a Source game because Source has the same thing going on to where you could set the time per map. Uh, there's like like in Counter Strike Source, there's like a round time, but then there's like a map time that you see pop up sometimes, like in the text on the server. And so I think that's part of the source that the game's built off of. I could be wrong. I mean, like if you look, it doesn't say it's a source game, but I do recall reading at one point that it was source based, or at the very least, the engine that it ran off of was based off of source. So the developer Nimblebit, I don't think it's around anymore. It was only like a couple guys in the first place, but I think they made a new company and they make mobile games now. I think they made mobile games then too, but I think they've rebranded since and are no longer Nimblebit. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. It's somewhat hard to commentate post game. There's not much crazy I'm doing on Dirt Circuit here. It's mostly just trying to have the most optimal path that I follow. I mean, that's most of the game right now, from what I understand. If you're going to be speedrunning, I'm not aware of any glitches that can really help you in speedrunning this. So it's really down to just getting your optimal path or your optimal line on the course and following it. And I mean, I can clearly do better. I'm There's points where I'm trying, and then there's points where I'm just getting thrown off either by the bots or the map being kind of messed up. This one right here, Dust Bunny, is a bit of a rough mat. The start is always very chaotic. Yeah, that was a bad bomb on my part, but still got me in first. I feel like this one has some very obvious, like, oh, you see I mess up here. I hit that ramp at just the wrong speed, and it doesn't even mess up the landing. It messes up me ramping. Unless these guys get in front of me, but that allows me to draft quite a bit and get some speed. It doesn't allow me to catch up, and then I get thrown in second and don't have the ability to draft off of anybody. Tornado there just to get rid of it because I know there are power ups coming up, and I get the knockout thing. Not very good. not for these purposes. You know, if you're playing against real people and you're behind, that's a good one. Or you're worried they're gonna come right up on you. But unfortunately, playing against bots not the best thing. When throw the tornado, maybe I'll mess somebody up when they drop off. Probably not. It was really just to clear my power up space. I get iced and I proceed to throw an ice back and ice somebody else. Ice really sucks because it takes a while to break and it really kills your speed, your momentum. I'm kind of trying to avoid the pink guy here, so I'm not following my line as well as I could be. The turning is not very tight in this game. You can do like a jump. If you press space, your car will jump and you can rotate while doing that. You cannot move forward and jump. You can only jump in place. I think if you already have momentum, you will move, but like there's no pressing on the gas while you're in the air. Or at least I mean there might be, but it doesn't do anything. It's not a very useful thing in my opinion, and not a very useful control. But it is present, and you know perhaps there is something you could do with it. Dust Bunny again. I get kind of messed up there by one of the bots. But again, the rubber banding in this game is pretty good. I don't get my full boost there. I don't know why. Maybe because I'm not that far behind the guy in first. But then here I get the full boost. So I don't know what happened there. Maybe that was a bug. But I just blast it. Try to get in first. Because I feel like I can maintain first on Dust Bunny pretty easily. It's not like Aqua Race where I can easily get messed up by the map, or Zero Circuit where there's so much contact with the bots and so many power-ups that I could just get hit by a stray one and it would be a run ender. Not much interesting going on right now. Uh, After that first time where I tried to use the ramp and I got thrown off of it, I decided to avoid the ramps the rest of this map. Sitting close to the wall here, the left wall. Make the turn and then kind of head more towards the right. Stay kind of to the right middle and then get closer to the right for the turn. at the entrance. I like to be on the middle right here for the power up. Going to the far left or right, I don't think is very good. It puts you too far from this area here, the ruler. It's much more narrow than the preceding room, and I finish it pretty decent time, 27:36. I will say on Aqua Race, I have gotten sub 6. I ran a few times earlier, just getting my like speed running stuff set up, the live split and my OBS, and I got sub 6 each of those times. And then this morning, I don't know, I wasn't very good. So there's definite room for improvement on Aqua Race. You can get a, I think I said sub 6, sub 7. You can get a sub 7 on Aqua Race pretty easy. I think Champion Circuit was pretty good. You might be able to shave off like 5 seconds. Uh, Dirt Circuit and Chill Mountain and Dust Bunny, I'm not totally sure. I'm not entirely sure where there's room for improvement. I guess the drop down on Dirt Circuit or on Chill Mountain. Dirt Circuit, I mean, if you can figure out how to hit those landings more consistently, I mean, you would definitely improve your time a little bit. But I don't think it's like a killer. 8 iron has some luck based. Oh, see, I get hit there, which was not good. Luckily, I had the spring, which I can use, and it pushes me forward a little bit, keeps me a little farther ahead. Pardon me. And I get an almost full boost there. I don't know why. I don't know how this Delbert guy is first, and I wasn't that far behind him, but I got quite the boost. And then I kind of messed up, hit the wall, but it was fine. I lost a little bit of momentum. 8 iron is one where you can really like do it pretty tightly. Uh, the issue comes in with the bots and the random power ups that will be going everywhere. And right here where the track crosses itself. I have played the game before and been hit while crossing that area or hit somebody else while doing it, and it's a bit nerve wracking when you're in first. Because you can be half the track in front of somebody like that person. I didn't see the name of the bot. I do like 8 iron as well. Really, all the races stick out in my mind. I think the only one that really doesn't is Dirt Circuit. I don't often think about Dirt Circuit. All the others though, very memorable. Aqua Race though, even though it is memorable for the wrong reasons. Here I am drafting off this guy. I miss out on a power up because of it though, but and he hit me with the power up. Didn't really affect me that much though. This game is fairly dead nowadays. Nimblebit stopped supporting the game, and so the official servers went down. And while sometimes you can still catch like a server up in the server browser, it's not common. And there still is a small, group of people playing this. Like I mean, there might be 30 people playing it at a time, and me and my friends play it semi regularly. And we have people join on our server, you know, quite a few times. So it's not a completely dead game, but the official support for it is cut off, and that really did not help the state of the game. Oh, you see there, I almost got hit trying to cross the tracks. And this one is one of the longer courses lap wise. It's 6 laps, which is weird. Zero Circuit I think is about the same total distance of the track, and it's 8. So maybe not. Maybe 8 irons a bit longer. It doesn't really feel that way though. We gotta wait. Next map, Space Race. And now I kind of mess up here. Uh, I wasn't paying attention and I forgot to start the. I was looking at the maps too. I was like, wait a second. Do I have these in the wrong order? Did I mess up the timer? And then I forget to start it, and it takes me a minute to realize. Then I think right about, oh, where do I remember? It's not too long. But so there was no timer here, and once I realized, I restart the map. I reload it. And so we go through warm up again, and then this time I don't forget to start the timer. I got fairly distracted because of, I was like, wait, did I not match up the timer correctly with the maps? But I did. And then there we go. I started up, and we're back to the official times. Okay. Not a great start. I'm immediately getting hit and losing all my momentum. 5th place, but easily catch up. Start drafting, get full. You see the ceiling up there? You can indeed get up there. It is possible. Believe right here, if you have the spring, you can jump up there, go around. Alternatively, right there, that in the middle area, if you hit it right, you can get up there. I think those are the only spots where it's possible to get up on the ceiling of the map. But again, I don't believe it saves you any time. It just makes your ride a little easier. And so I don't really try to go for it. I do get the spring up here, which is pretty lucky, and I do make a, oh, not on this one, I guess. Maybe I missed it, or maybe it's this next lap. I do get the spring over there, and I do go for it. Maybe right there you could get up there too. I would be less trustworthy of that spot. Tornado, I just send it. Tornado is pretty finicky, and there's plenty of times I get caught up in my own tornado. And so generally, if I get it, I just try to send it away from me and away from the path I'm gonna go. Use it on like a corner, send it straight forward and turn. Maybe it was the second go at the map where I get the spring and attempt it, but I do try at one point. Man, Space Race is such a cool looking map. Very iconic. Oh, and this was not good. I had to reset right there. And I'm back on the track. Maybe could have saved a little bit more time by resetting sooner. I probably should have known that I was not stopping. I was not going to lose momentum. And oh, here I try it. And nah. I think right there really is where you want to go for it. Oh, and I kind of messed myself up by icing that guy. Wow. Pretty tired. Get the spring again. I don't go for it this time. I don't think. Yeah, no, I did. Hmm. Yeah, I think actually it's right there where you want to go for it after the finish line. So I think the earliest you could go for it is lap 2. Another thing, I don't think what cart you use really matters in terms of speed or anything. I think they all have the same values, but that is not confirmed. I do not know that for a fact. But just from my own personal experience playing the game, pardon me, I've not noticed much of a difference besides the cosmetic differences. All right, Spaghetti West. This one has some real shortcut potential, and some of them the bots use. Now, starting out here, I do not conserve my boost or draft probably like I should have. Um, Instead, I got kind of knocked there, which wasn't great. Didn't didn't conserve my boost for the upcoming shortcut because there's one right here. You see the bot kind of use it. Didn't boost though, so it made him a bit slower. And then right there is the other shortcut. If you have enough boost, you can go across that gap, and it doesn't mess you up. You are still in the boundaries, so you don't get reset. And then coming up in this tunnel here, there's a little jump. I don't think it saves you really any time, and I didn't have the boost to go for it here. And really, for the rest of the map, I just don't go for it because there is that risk that you don't make it. I've not made it before, just kind of being dumb. This is an easy one to be really on the edge of the track with. There's no wall, so you can kind of run the boundary between the road and the slowing terrain, the sand. Here, I don't use this boost, and I'm like, I'm gonna go for it anyway, even though that's not enough. And yeah, there's a point there where I'm just going slow through the sand. Somewhat unfortunate. On round two, I do use those shortcuts. Yet again, I skipped the jump in the tunnel. I don't think it saves you very much time, and I don't really trust it. You might be able to shave off like a second, maybe. Maybe less. I'm leaning towards less personally. Alright, 40.08 on that first one. Alright, this time I decide, alright, I'm going to conserve my boost. I'm going to draft. I really did not play the first part of the last round correctly, but here I use some boost to get across this area, and then right here I use the rest of my boost to get across this gap, and it pretty much cements me into first place. That was a decent gap. But I yet again do not use the tunnel shortcut, the ramp in the tunnel ramp. I believe the spring is a bit faster than just driving the same distance. I think you cover the same amount of distance slightly shorter, or in a slightly shorter period of time if you use the spring rather than just drive. Maybe not if you boost, but I think it's faster than the base driving, even if only slightly. Just trying to be good about the lines. I'm approaching 5 minutes on the clock. We go just a little over. It's gonna be like 42, 43, 42 and a half. Not bad. You know, that's 5 minutes 12 seconds over, or five minutes and 12 seconds for the level. Not bad. Yeah, most of the times around 5 minutes. Aqua Race is a longer map, unfortunately. And so, I mean, the best I've been able to get is like a 652 on it. Whereas every other one is like 5-ish minutes. I've yeah, I mean usually 5.5, closer to 5.5. I don't know if it's possible to get pardon me, to get under 5 minutes on any of the maps. But alright, last up is Zero Circuit. This one is a bit nerve wracking. There's so much that can go wrong here, and it's mostly outside of your control with the bots and the power ups. But there is some good rubber banding potential if you do get behind. And it's fairly short, and but eight laps. So immediately not off to a great start, but I'm not worried because I mean I get full boost and everyone's pretty close together. Even if they're not close together in position, I mean it's not that big of a map, so you're gonna be kind of close. I kind of messed up hitting that guy. I hit him too directly on the back, and so it messed both of us up and threw me back in the sixth place. But I can catch up. It's only lap 3. I go for the power up here and didn't get a good one, so I mean spring's okay, but it's only useful on straightaways. Alright, so I'm in third here. One difficult part of this map is hard to tell who is ahead of you. I kind of messed up that punch just a little bit, but I did get him turned around, so that's a bit slowing. And I think okay, so I mess up a little bit coming up on the time, but not very badly. I'm sitting here thinking when I cross the finish line this time, it's the end, and so I pause it, and then I'm like, oh wait. So you could add a second onto the timer, make it a 40 or 48:09. Uh, yeah, that was my bad. I fucked that one up a little bit. I was misreading the lap counter. Not even misreading it, just misunderstanding, I guess, in my head. I don't know why I thought that. None of the other maps have worked like that, so I really don't know why. In that instance, I was like, oh yeah, that's how it is. But at most, I was like a second that got taken off there. So you could call this a 44:09. So trying to avoid that pink guy, trying to avoid getting hit by the ice guy. That power up spawned as I drove through it, so I didn't get it. Tornado, not very great. And I'm about to lap some guys. Alright, and this time I'm not going to mess up on the lap counter. But the unfortunate thing is, I think I end up doing this map 3 times because you finish it quicker than 5 minutes. So you have to do it one more time. So yeah, I think it is like the time on the levels. Maybe the category name should be like all races 5 minutes and then all races 2 minutes. Yeah, see, I had to do it again, and even though it's gonna make it go over the uh, the 5 minutes, it you still got to do it. So at least I feel I still had to do it for it to count, for it to be complete. Yeah, I guess at the very least, in the terms of minutes, you are limited to like your minimum is 5 minutes per level. So I guess the lowest you could get using this rule set is 40 minutes. I'm pretty comfortably in first. This one is not nearly as chaotic. And it's coming up on the end here. I will say, uh, so that was it. That was the Zero Gear speedrun world record for this category. Uh, at some point, there will be a Discord link in the description for a Zero Gear speedrunning group for anyone who's interested. Uh, that's pretty much it. I'm trying to get this on speedrun.com. So, all right, I think that's it. Goodbye.